Morning everyone, welcome to Ainsley News. It's Thursday the 19th of May. Massive news out of Sri Lanka today. They're in crisis and with spiralling inflation. Sri Lanka is now running out of petrol. Citizens are being implored not to line up and that petrol will be available within the next 2 days. Sri Lankan news channels are warning that power cuts may rise to 15 hours per day, and there are numerous reports of Sri Lankans struggling to find other essentials such as milk and medical supplies. Prime Minister Ranil warns that the nation has no US dollar reserves and that they are now planning to sell their national airline to raise cash. The sovereign nation is expected to be placed into default by rating agencies after not making interest repayments on their sovereign bonds. The government is now officially printing money to pay government employee salaries as the monetary system or monetary crisis gathers steam. The nation has been struggling economically since the pandemic began 2 years ago, as foreign remittances dried up and tourists stopped visiting the island due to worldwide lockdowns. Incredibly, despite 4 other ministers being sworn in over the last week, the country still doesn't have a finance minister at present, although poison chalice doesn't do the role justice. The Prime Minister narrowly survived a no-confidence motion yesterday. Protests have continued every day now for more than a month. This chaos echoes the charts we've been showing lately and showing how leaders and wealth effect positively reinforce themselves on the way up. So they make themselves look fantastic on the way up, with political leaders seemingly capable of doing no wrong. But with the currency crashing and shortages leading to riots and wealth destruction, almost no leader can survive for long. Shortages are far from confined to Sri Lanka, with Bank of England Governor Andrew Bailey warning MPs on Monday that the central bank has warned of apocalyptic food price hikes and that the central bank was helpless in fighting food shortages driven by external shocks, such as the Russian-Ukrainian conflict and supply chain issues caused by the zero-COVID policy in China. Speaking to the Treasury Select Committee, Bailey stated that an inflation risk factor I am going to sound apocalyptic about is food. Ukraine does have food in store, but it can't get it out at the moment. Ukraine's grain exports have plummeted from 5 million tonnes per month down to 500,000 tonnes. That's 1/10. India is one country feeling the supply pinch. They have now instituted an export ban. Ukrainian production represented approximately 30% of all wheat supply globally prior to the conflict. In response to warnings, British MPs have argued that the bank needs to reassure markets, consumers and savers that the money still has value. Official inflation is due to pass 9% next week as consumer price index figures climb from 7% in March. The Bank of England has signalled that inflation may peak out at 10.2% later this year as energy prices level off. Last night saw deep losses on Wall Street as more stagflation and confirmation emerged, with US credit card debt surging, consumer spending falling, Target and Walmart shares down 29% and 17% in just the last 2 days. And both home builder and home buyer sentiment tanking, all against this backdrop of high inflation. Just as we saw in Australia yesterday, inflation is far outstripping wage growth, and the US is turning to credit cards. This only ends with inflation reinforcing wage growth and the spiral Morrison's talked of, or more and more unsustainable debt. On a completely related note, gold held strong overnight and jumped $28 in Aussie dollar terms against our falling AUD. That's news for today. Very sad news coming out of Sri Lanka. If you do want to purchase some gold, silver or platinum today, jump over to ainsleyBullion.com.au. Enjoy your day, everyone, and we'll catch you tomorrow for more news.